Co-creation is a design process for addressing a challenge in which stakeholders touching different parts of the relevant ecosystem come together to develop possible solutions collaboratively. It's often creative and iterative. This process is extremely helpful where USAID needs input and ideas from implementers on the front lines of a challenge to help them understand and develop potential solutions.
It's when the solution and the specific kind of partners even might not be known ahead of time. There is knowledge and usually some research and understanding of what the challenges are that want to be addressed. There might even be some ideas on ranges of possible solutions, but really do not have the answer. And so USAID and by proxy Invest is looking for the partners to come together and jointly define those solutions. Another reason that it really might be used is that not any one partner or the typical ones that might come together based on their own natural networks are anticipated to be the solution. And so really also looking to bring together a whole range of potential partners that have the opportunity to network and meet each other and therefore form new consortia or new partnerships in order to provide the proposed solutions.
Because it's a more collaborative process, it has the ability to harness the creativity, knowledge, and presence of private sector actors, as well as traditional development partners, and also allows for funding opportunities outside of the agency that issued the procurement. So this gives greater freedom to innovate and to bring in other stakeholders in the process, provides an opportunity for more informed programming and for more efficient use of development dollars in generating solutions. And that can lead to more opportunities to try new things and learn about what works.
The way that co-creation can lead to more sustainable development results has to do with the ownership that can be taken by the participating parties in creating the solutions, that they're not responding to a request for proposals where already things are kind of outlined and you're seeing how can you provide that solution, but you are, again, taking ownership in the actual discussion of the problem, in the development of the solution, and putting forward the best ideas in partnership with others. And so that's one of the important ways that it can lead to more sustainable results. I think another way, and something that we saw in particular in the case of USAID Mexico that we helped on a co-creation that focused on sustainable landscapes, was also the important involvement of partners from different countries and significantly from different regions within Mexico that were particularly affected. And so this local involvement is also really important. And I think, co-creation can sometimes lower the barriers of entry because partners don't need to respond to such a, onerous RFP or procurement kind of process. And so that diversity of perspectives and the local ownership also comes into play and can help lead to more sustainable results.
Now on INVEST, we've run co-creation where we release an initial expression of interest or an EOI. Now you need to respond to the EOI in order to be invited to the co-creation. EOIs are typically very short, maybe 3 to 5 slides, so you need to use that limited space to highlight your new innovative idea, get us excited about it, but also be responsive to the evaluation criteria that's included within that EOI. You should be highlighting your firm's experience in the country, the region, the technical area, and show your ability to implement and achieve the goals of the co-creation and ultimately the activity that would come from the co-creation. Typically following the co-creation workshop, we are then going to develop proposal guidance to send to any of those offerers or firms that we would like to take their concept that they've co-created in the workshop and develop that into a formal proposal. It is a little different from our typical RFP process because you're also going to be allowed to submit questions throughout the entire process and look to INVEST and to USAID in order to get technical guidance. Now, this technical guidance is not going to impact your score negatively or positively. It is just there for us to give you some guidance in terms of what we found interesting about your concept in the co-creation workshop and helping you to make that into the best proposal possible.
Come with great ideas, come with your perspective ready to share. be flexible.
But also you should try to send somebody who's empowered to commit the company to a partnership arrangement. This way, when you're working in collaboration with other partners in the room, you can make firm commitments to one another that you will work together should the proposal that follows from the co-creation turn into an award. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself stuck in the meeting, having a lot of great conversations, but not being able to bind yourself to any sort of activity or any sort of follow-on proposal.
Okay, so if there's organizations considering applying to USAID for a co-creation, I would say go for it. It's actually a relatively lower barrier to entry than another proposal process or a larger grant application process. It's a more iterative process. You can also learn along the way. You don't have to necessarily be leading something. You can find partners that you wouldn't have otherwise that you can work together on and really be able to contribute your expertise to that. And in the process itself, just really being open. It's actually more ambiguous perhaps than your traditional procurement process. So you need to be kind of comfortable with that, embrace a little bit the ambiguity and the iterative process, and just really, be open to sharing what you know and to questioning perhaps the typical assumptions that are out there. But I think that all kinds of partners really do have the potential to contribute, and often these co-creation processes really are looking for those new perspectives, new partnerships. And so hopefully organizations that haven't been able or willing to participate before really can give it a try with the co-creation.